When we were filming in San Francisco, David Bowie was just completing his world tour there, and we asked him about the kind of organisation that has to go into a massive tour.
Logistics of putting these things on is not really much different than making a film. The crew is usually about the same size as a middle-budget movie, and except the travelling, of course, is setting up a different location every day. But so that side of it is I'm quite familiar with to a certain extent. With even my past tours had quite a few people on them. That's why I never made any money on them. But I've always had a lot of sets and bits and pieces to be carried and shunted about. But the people and the crowds, I find it really good playing outdoors. There's more oxygen. You can hit better notes, and funnily enough, you can actually make it kind of intimate with these television things. The video screens are great. I mean, they've changed concerts completely. And I bore that in mind when I designed the show, that it worked also for television as well as for stage, knowing that we were going to have these big diamond vision things. So if you get a good crew on, I mean, they can make it look like an MTV video or something. MTV's a video channel in America.
On stage for the final Toronto performance of the 1983 Serious Night Tour, David Bowie!
I think in America, more particularly, the Americans, there's a line the Americans won't cross. There has to be a certain conformity to things before they'll allow that to take a place in their hearts or homes, whereas the English will embrace eccentrics and always have done.
Do you consider yourself an eccentric?
Not a little. not really. No, well, certainly the Americans I am, but I'm not sure that I'm really considered eccentric in England. Sort of a bit pushy, probably. The only thing that I really think that was really important about what I did was allow theatrics to take a greater part of the stage than it had taken before in rock. I mean, everything else is just sort of particular and personalised style, but I mean, anything that's a trend, if anything else, that I started was the idea of making it as visually interesting as it could be musically. But I think that's just a recurrence of... I think there were a lot of bands in the 60s that were doing very theatric type things. Mine was just a 70s adaptation.
You've been interviewed millions of times. If you were me, what question would you ask yourself?
What do you carry around in your luggage on tour?
And what would you answer?
I have no idea. I haven't been able to get to the bottom of my suitcase in weeks.